Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Good morning. I'm having a fabulous morning. Do not mind my enthusiasm. We had a storm last night, so the kids are like, I didn't get too much sleep, so I'm like running on that adrenaline, I think. And I wanted to make them something special. So 9 times out of 10, their favorite thing to eat when they are picky eaters and they don't want to eat, I'm gonna make them some cornbread. So my version of cornbread that a friend of mine made, and she gave me the recipe. Here is cornmeal. You will need a cup of sugar, 1 cup of buttermilk. Now, the interesting part is that when a recipe calls for vegetable oil or butter, you can substitute it with coconut oil. What? That's my secret. A lot of people don't realize that you can do that. I experiment. I told you, mad scientist mommy moment that I have. I'm like always thinking up things like that, like how to kind of improve it. Cornbread isn't really that good for you, but it's like that sinful pleasure. So of course for the kids, I try to sneak something in there that's really good. Of course, coconut oil and baking powder and sea salt. And what I also add to it, my other secret arsenal, is vanilla extract. If you put vanilla extract in your cornbread, because it's already sweet, it'll bring out some flavor to it. They constantly eat it up like a mad person. And I almost forgot my eggs. I gotta have an egg to make all of this deliciousness come together. So here we go. Promise I'll get my tripod. It's coming in the mail. So 1 cup of cornmeal, as I stated before, and I have my notes written down. I keep everything on my iPhone, right? So here's my sugar. That's just throwing in here. My salt. And they always eat it up. Like, they will eat cornbread more than anything else, which I think it's hilarious. They are definitely my kids. They love sweets, but what kid doesn't? And I'm going to use a teaspoon of salt. And I like to do it over the sink because you don't want to add too much salt to it. And remember, I told you I like using the pink Himalayan sea salt because you can actually taste the salt. And then the sea salt is very, very mild. So I'll use it for like my baking. And that way it's not as bad. A cup of buttermilk. Now, I made this buttermilk. You can use 1 cup of whole milk. And throw some white distilled vinegar, a tablespoon of white distilled vinegar, leave it there for 5 minutes, and boom, there you go. Trick for those moms that, you go to sit there and try and get something to work for you, and you're like, well, I don't have all those ingredients. I am exactly one of those people that do that sometimes. And especially if you're about to go food shopping, 9 times out of 10, you'll never have what you need, and you're just like, ugh. What am I gonna do? I like making sure it's mixed. And you're going to need baking powder. You can hear my kids in the background. And then I forgot to put my flour. 1 cup of flour. I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait a minute, it looks so watery. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to put the flour. Yes. I definitely need some sleep. I definitely do. I promise. Ooh, sorry. Cup of flour. And I just mix it. Mix, 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 mix. There we go. Now we're talking. And I always worry because I'm like, oh, it's so thick. I promise you. I still haven't put the eggs in there yet. Or the coconut oil. It gives it a coconutty taste. And everybody expects that corn taste to shine through a lot more, which it does. But I like shocking them with that punch of coconut. And they're not expecting it. I didn't even know that. Of course. And it calls for 1/4 of a cup of vegetable oil or +2. Coconut. Throw that in there. And FYI, make sure you get the good coconut. Don't get like the Louisville, something like that. I've seen it in the store. Don't get that one. It's all in. Yeah, I'm making cornbread. My son. I'm making cornbread right now. And there we go. I'm getting excited. That's so bad. That's how you know you're a foodie. When you just sit there and you're just like, oh my gosh. And look, you can, it's like, it melts on your hand, on contact. I just love it. You guys gotta try it. Guys gotta try it. I'm telling you, I get in these mad scientist-y moments and everybody's just like, ugh, you're a mad scientist right now. And I'll be the first one to tell you, if it gets too thick, I always throw an extra egg. The recipe calls for 1 egg, but you know how recipes are. Sometimes they underestimate how thick it could get. It calls for 1 egg. Sometimes I throw 2 in there. It's not gonna hurt it. It's gonna make it taste better. There we go. Now we're talking. And at the end of this video, I will include a picture of said cornbread. FYI also, another substitute trick, if you have some cornmeal and you run short of it, you can actually use cornstarch. Because the difference between cornstarch and cornmeal is cornstarch is ground, powdered cornmeal. I found that out today because I was running short on cornmeal. And see, like I said, I like adding another egg. You don't have to, but I do. Everybody's like, oh my gosh. Stop, 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 and you shake it. Stick it in the oven. I already preheated my oven for 400 degrees. Yep. And last but not least, I pour a teaspoon of that. I have an 8x8 dish filled with coconut oil spray. I use that. to further push the whole coconut flavor in here. So, my kids tear this up. They love it. Boom. Show you the batter. It's my cornbread batter. Stick it in the oven for about 25 minutes at 400 degrees. You can even put it in a cast iron skillet. And this cornbread is money. So I will not take up any more of y'all's time. I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting me. I'm so beyond blessed for all your support, for all your comments. And boom. 25 minutes and I am golden. And FYI, do check it. Your oven, it may take longer. Just stick like a butter knife in it. If it comes out clean, it's good. Thank you for joining me on Stephanie 380. I hope you guys have a blessed, wonderful rest of the day. Thank you for rocking out these last couple of weeks with all these blogs. I've been killing you guys with so much information, with so much passion and sharing, and I absolutely adore you, love you. My name is Stephanie Robles. I'm just a mom with 4 kids, trying to make it in this world like everybody else, and inspiring and sharing everything I know. Have a great day. TGIF. Yay!